Hello, everyone. Happy New Year and welcome to my channel. I'm going to start off today's video by showing you the clubs that I'm going to be playing with in 2024 from Spellbinders. So I love their 3D embossing folder, so I'm going to be using that again this year. The one for January is called Efflorescent Flora. Spellbinders also has the regular embossing folders, but I just love the look of the 3D folders. And this year I picked up a new club. I'm going to be using their Glimmer clubs. And for January, this one is called Card Front Floral. This is a beautiful plate. It fills up a whole A2 sized panel, as you can see here. I love glimmering, and I do a lot of this off camera. I really love the look of the glimmer hot foiling, so I decided to choose this club for the year. Spellbinders also has a brand new club, a stencil club, and for January is called Lively Floral. This coordinates with the glimmer plate of the month, or you can use it on its own. I love stencils, especially layering stencils like this, and there are 5 layers to this beautiful flower. They do have little numbers on the bottom corner, so you know which one comes first. The next club I'm going to be working with this year is their Clear Stamp and Die of the Month club. I've used this club kit for years and years, and I love it. January's club is called Just Because. Here's a close-up look. You have lots of little bees and a honey pot, and a beautiful large image that you can use as a whole, or there are dies to cut out the little single flowers in that image. And then last, I'm going to be using their BetterPress plates. So the one for January is stunning. It's called Poppy Greetings. Poppies are one of my favorite flowers, so I'm so excited to see this plate. And this is the one I'm actually going to be using in today's video. There are, of course, more club kits from Spellbinders, and I'll have all of them linked in the description box below. But these are the 5 that I chose to use from Spellbinders this year. So let's take a look at this beautiful BetterPress plate. And it comes with 2 sentiments. The sentiments say best wishes and thank you. I'm using the coordinating paper. This is called porcelain, and it's intended to use with the BetterPress plate system. But of course, you can use whatever cardstock or paper you want. I'm going to be doing a little bit of watercoloring, so this porcelain watercolor paper is perfect for that. I'm going to make 2 cards, so I just need to pick out 2 different colors of ink. And I decided to go with black for one of the cards. And then I'm trying to find a color that is similar to the poppy color, orangey red. And I thought the strawberry color would suit for that. And I'm actually going to start with the strawberry ink first. So let's ink up this plate. I kind of press it down and twist as I go along. I like to go over it with the ink a few times. That way, when you run it through your Platinum 6 or whatever machine you have, it has a better chance of turning out nice and dark. I'll put the top plate on, and I'm going to take this off camera and run it through my Platinum 6. I run it through twice. And let's take a peek at this, and it turned out just beautifully. Look how gorgeous the details on these flowers are. Okay, so let's ink it up again. I didn't bother cleaning my plate. Most of the ink was pressed into the paper, and I'm not worried about transfer onto my black ink pad. However, if I had started with my black ink and was inking it up with a lighter color, I would clean the plate off just in case any of that black transferred onto a lighter colored ink pad. Let's put another piece of the porcelain cardstock on top. Run this through the Platinum 6. The black one turns out really pretty as well. So what I use to clean off my plates with is the archival ink cleaner. And I try to get to it as soon as possible. You have a better chance of pulling up the ink that way. But I'm going to go over the system base as well as the plate. And then I'll gently brush it off with a baby wipe. Or, of course, you could use a microfiber cloth, whatever you have. And then I'll pick up this plate here and just kind of peel off flowers and give the base a good rubbing. So let's start with the orange poppies first. I'm using a scarlet red Zig brush and a clear ink blender pen to pull out the ink. So I put a little bit of ink down at the base of the petal, and then I draw it out a little bit with the clear blender. You could use a watercolor brush to do this as well. And I'm just going to go around the whole flower like this. It's very simple coloring. It's really fun to do, and it turns out just beautifully. So I am going to speed this up just a bit. Again, laying down the color and then drawing it out with the blender brush. I like to work in small segments because the ink has a tendency of drying and then it's harder to pull the color out. But if you get to it right away with your blender or your watercolor brush, it pulls out nicely. And this is really beautiful thick paper, and it takes the moisture from the pens really well. And then I'm going to use a green and also the blender pen to draw out the green ink. You don't need much green for this panel. And then the center of the flower, I'm trying to find a pretty brown. Usually poppies have a dark brown center. I'll use this one. Just add a little dab of the Zig marker and then pull it out with the blender pen. And I like to kind of clean off the brush between colors just by wiping it onto a piece of scrap paper. Here's a close-up look at how this turned out. For the sentiment, I'm inking it up onto a piece of peridot green cardstock. And then I'm going to use my scissors to cut out one side of the poppy. I will speed this up. I go kind of slow. This is going to be kind of an overlay onto the green cardstock. It just gives it a little more pizzazz and interest. And I'm going to glue this down flat with a tape runner. Look how pretty that looks. I ran out of my Spellbinders tape runner, so I'm kind of struggling with these tape runners that I bought from Michael's. My cotton white panel started off as 5.5 by 4.25, and that is the same size as this green panel, so it's easy to line up the corners. This would look pretty popped up with some foam tape as well. I'm going to attach this piece to a top folding card base. And last, for a touch of bling, I'm going to add some pearls. These pearls are called Poppy, and they coordinate beautifully with the colors on this card. And here it is, all done. This plate is so beautiful. You wouldn't even have to color it in if you didn't want to. It's so nice and detailed. For card number 2, I'm using the black stamped image. And I went ahead and colored them the same way, exact same color, the scarlet red, the same green. However, this time I'm adding a little bit of background color around the flowers with a turquoise green zig. And again, I'm using the blender pen to kind of pull out the color and soften the edges. The watercolor colored cardstock that you see to the left, I'm not going to use. I do change it for a darker color. However, it would have looked beautiful on the light blue paper. I'm not drawing the color out very far, but I just wanted this panel to have an indication of blue sky. And I'm going to stop here in just a sec. and go ahead and cut this out like I did the first panel, but I'll be coming back in with more of the turquoise green zig. This time I'm using a pair of longer scissors. It was easier for me to use these longer scissors than the short ones. Here it is, ready to go on the side of this panel. This is where I change it out for a darker teal color. And this color is teal topaz. I just liked the little bit of a darker panel behind this. And then I'm going to add a little more color around the poppy. So if you subscribe to these clubs, they automatically mail them out to you every month. However, if you don't have a subscription, they do allow you to buy these starting on the 6th of each month, and then you can cancel anytime. All of the links will be listed in the description box. Let's take a look at both cards side by side. I don't know which one I like better. These were really fun to create, and I hope you enjoyed these projects. So again, Happy New Year to all of you. I hope your year is filled with health and happiness and lots of crafty time. Take care. Bye.